But thanks for sticking with me. Happy Saturday. Holy camole, we're doing it, right? That's right. We're doing it. Having a good time on a Saturday. We're gonna play the random Wheel of Chaos today. More on that in a very little bit. But I was, trying to set up all the bells and whistles, ran out of time a little bit, and here we are. This is B minor, as I said, and this is Charlie Hunter, and an amazing drummer from the Yurt Rock collection that I enjoy very much. In fact, I'm going to drag this loop we're listening to. Sorry, oh my gosh, I just killed the vibe. Oh boy, and now it's in my Ableton Live software. Anyone use Ableton out there? Now we're in Ableton. Bells and whistles. What are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? Oh my gosh, we gotta get our dots going. We need the wheel up there. It's gonna get real with the wheel today, folks. I'm gonna put the chat up on the screen. You get to see how the sausage is made here today. Okay. I think I can do this while we're live. So I saw we got some strats in the house. It is Straturday. Stradivarius. All right. This is kind of a strat. It's the jam stick, which I love for the power of the dots. Speaking of which, gotta turn on the dots. It clicks in the audio a bit. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. We're gonna go. We got Tony and Lolly behind me snoozing. Love it, love it. It's always in these moments when you're live streaming that your software asks you, like, hey, do you want to update it? How about those iPhone updates? Like, hey, do you want me to just work on this overnight while you're asleep? Just put it by your head and just leave it on, and we'll just update it for you. Don't worry about it. I like the sort of menacing quality of this music, because the lurking chaos of the wheel shall reveal things we didn't know we knew. Yeah, so if you're just joining, the idea is that we're going to work out together eventually. I promise. We'll be jamming. And today in particular, we're going to have this random chaos wheel with a bunch of different topics on it, spinning around. And it'll just give us a little slice. Literally a little slice, tell us what to do. Might be like one blues lick, or one finger picking pattern, or one trick on the circle of fifths. For my members, it's a lot of things we've been touching on in the recent weeks, so it'll be kind of a nice way to be like, oh yeah, I actually do know that stuff. And it actually was good to get a little refresh quiz. Turn on the fretboard. How's the weather where you are? It is gorgeous here in Nashville for the moment. We had some crazy rain, but now it's rinsed off, and Michael B can attest to that. It still feels like spring here. We don't know how much longer we're gonna have it. You know how it is where it's like in the South. It's sort of like spring until suddenly it's like just summer, just sweaty pits. That's what the weather forecast is. Sweaty pits. Every day. Sweaty pits. Bring your deodorant on the way to the... Okay, got our fretboard magic mojo. Is it lighting it up? Oh yeah, smooth sounds of me. Yeah, my name is Tim Fagan, aka Guitar Friend Tim. I've been recording and releasing music for many a moon, and I still do, and more on that soon. Various different styles of pop, very different iterations of haircuts and attempting to be a pop star through the years. A guitar-based pop star. But one album, if you want to check out some instrumental stuff that I have, and the irony being that if I play it here, then I'll get sort of whatever, like a copyright strike from myself, as it were. Check this out. Check this out. Kind of trippy. But I have an album called Chromatica that I put out a couple years ago, and it is in the style of Khruangbin, which is that really cool guitar trio. And so check that out when you get a chance. In fact, in my in our guitar workouts of the day, a few months ago, I did a couple of those songs and I broke them down because obviously I have the recordings of them. And so that kind of stuff is available to us. So let me catch up with the chat here. Let me see what's going on. How we doing? How we doing? For some reason, I don't think I see the chat showing up on the screen until kabling. Now it's on. Now we got it going. All right. It's not surface of the sun yet. Yeah, right. When it's so humid that it's just like it's inside your mind. It's so hot. So welcome. We're gonna get into a fun little workout. But before we do that, let's warm up. Let's do an official warm up together, just on the classics. Let's see if we can get ourselves acquainted with. You know what? Let's use this groove we were doing, right? So guess what? We're gonna play notes that fall inside of this groove, and inside of like a B minor, right? This is kind of a fun little twist on it. So find me a B on the 6th string. Grab your guitar. If you don't got it, grab that guitar, play along, because we're gonna get nerdy now. We're gonna play things and say things that we don't regret. So 7th fret, 6th string. See, I gave you a little time to think about it, but now we're doing it. Find the same note on the 5th string, the exact same note. Not just the letter name, but the actual same note is on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. B. 7th fret, 6th string. B. 2nd fret, right? Find that on the 1st string. Now it's going to be 2 octaves higher. We kind of get that one for free, right? Which is great. Remember that the 1st string and the 6th string, you know what I mean? Share the same name. How about on the 2nd string? The 2nd string is the B. So open and 12th fret, right? We'll kind of stay within just the first 12 frets. All right, 3rd string. Where would we find a B on the 3rd string? If you're just totally lost as to how to start, maybe go to one we've already played, like that B on the 5th string, and then that octave shape, right? That's really useful, and it comes built into that bar chord, right? So B and B. All right, how about the 4th string? We need a B on the 4th string. Same idea, you can use that trick doing the octave if you're holding a B on the 6th string. And I'll be honest, to this day, those middle strings, that's kind of what I do. I sort of, just even if I visualize the octave below, it allows me to sort of aim a little better. Okay, find me this note. Can anyone in the chat, in the comments, tell me what's that note that I'm playing in relation to the B? So as far as an interval goes, if the B is the root, that's the 1, what's this? That's the same note lower. That is a D. And in relation, in terms of the intervals, that's going to be the flat 3rd, the minor 3rd. Nice, Frank. Nice. Oh, Michael Beckloff, how we doing? We got a good crew here. Yeah, Jeff with the dog picture. Yeah, the minor 3rd. That's just a great note to know how to find. So like the minor 3rd, you can use your ear. That's the one that sounds like the. I mean, you just kind of have a way of like, because the majors sounds totally out of place over B minor, right? So, and then you can just find a D note here. Ah, okay. Good. Okay, so let's find, well, you know what? We're out of time with our warm up. Let's not even worry about it. Let's just play a little something. Let's do a blues lick. So if you're like, what's he doing? Where are we? How should I know? Okay. Well then, maybe you're not gonna like this stream if you are saying those things, but if you're like, hey, show me what you got, boss. Let's get into something here. So I'm just gonna show you the top part. We don't always need to spell out the entire box one. We got it, right? We can see that, we know where the rest of it is, blah, blah, blah. But we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna spell out like the top 4 strings, and really I'm just putting that one there so that we have a root and we have a root. All right, now we're gonna incorporate that right there. Does anyone know what that white circle, what the name of that note is? Give me any name that comes to mind. Drop it in the chat. You could name it by its sort of colloquial term. You could name it by its number. You could name it by its, number being the interval, the flat 5, right? Sometimes people call it the blue note. And there's a lot of different ways you can approach it. So let's do something first where we just sort of slide up to it, back down. Just a real little, it's like a micro lick, right? We'll switch to this. Oh, this is good that I saw this. Guys, gals, I had not set up any of my things. Look at that, we're setting the ISO. Oh, the things you do for love. Here we go. 3, Four. Can you play that? Call and response. So I'm kind of coming down to that root being the B, right? And then I could go up. That's kind of fun, right? So sometimes you're playing notes that are like right next to each other, like kind of all in the line, but if you keep playing in a scale where you're just doing note after note and just following the scale, like you're putting them all, the ducks in a row, it starts to sound like a duck waddling or a penguin waddling, meaning the pentatonic penguin. Watch. Does anyone out there sound like that? It's okay. We're here to help you evolve beyond that. But if you're still sounding like teeter-totter, maybe just spend a little more time in one spot and then break up the pattern. Maybe skip a string. Right? So I just jumped over the third string there. That's another little fun thing right there. Party trick. Maybe we'll put that on the wheel. You just sort of hit an open B string and then you hammer on right there. And you can do that with any note that's in the scale. It's fun, right? Try that on the open B, because the B is the key, right, in this case. Nice, right? So imagine mixing in a little party trick like that with a little bit more. I'll show you this one. So we're pinching there. That one's really, really nice addition to this. So here's the lick, right where we started, right? Now, every time we hit a note, we're gonna also pinch on the first string on that octave. So it's like, you can do that all day. You can do that all Straturday. Gang. That's not a bad start here. We'll clear the progress bar there, because normally when we do our workouts, we just do a boom, we do a warm-up workout, and we play and we jam. So that's a little like kind of halfway version of it. But now that we're loose and warm and juiced up and ready to go, let's introduce ourselves to the wheel of chaos. And again, I think I got my thingies here. I'm going to have to switch the app over there to there to there. Ba-ba-ba. And let's see, on the iPad, we're going to get the volume, because we do need to hear the awesome robot lady that's like, beep, 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 beep. Let's look at this wheel first. You'll see what we're dealing with there. Oh, nice. Topics. GWOD. GWOD is our slang for guitar workout of the day. So on this wheel, among other things, we've got a circle of fifths trick. Fretboard secret unlocked. Wow, does that sound like an AI-generated clickbait title or what? Groove tester. I don't know. I mean, like, how good is your groove? Let's test it. Open chord magic. Like, I love it when the dots are just floating on their own. It's so mysterious. In fact, I think actually, hopefully I don't tank the stream here, but if I turn off this filter here, now you can, now we got the fretboard with the dots again, but I can't draw on it. I can do whatever I want, but let's see. Root name recall, we did that off the top, so another little round of that. The pink wedge there, Tim runs an ad. I mean, hey, if the wheel speaks, I'll just run an ad and everybody take a little, I'd say take a break, but no, I'd say glue your eyes to the screen. If you're not a member, by the way, anything I'm doing here is available to you anytime you want. when you join us, because you get a 14-day free trial. But basically, this is the silly kind of Saturday edition. This is like when newspapers used to exist. They were these things made of paper. And they were new every day. But on Sunday, there'd be one that had like lots of comics and ads and extended articles. That's what this is. The fun weekend edition. But during the week, we do just 15-minute workouts quickly, 15, 20 minutes. But at the top, we do that thing with the progress bar. We knock out something on a topic. We have a theme each week. Anyway, more on that later. Let's spin this freaking wheel. Oh, the clickety clackety boopity boppity boopity boo. Whew. You notice we got Tony Surfs up there. Oh, Groove Tester. That could be good.
Fretboard secret unlocked.
Oh, fretboard secret unlocked then, love. Right then. Yeah, you love it, don't you? Sorry. I just love doing the British accent. So here's a fretboard secret that you might enjoy. Shaboink. Actually, I don't need to do that thing with the dots where I'm covering up the... So the thing that I do, for anyone that asks and wonders, it's sort of a made-up hybrid setup that I created. Maybe someone else is doing something similar. But basically, I'm using this MIDI guitar. It sends those dots that I've turned green using the power of like color filters and stuff like that. So right now, it's just revealing the dots. As you've seen, when the fretboard goes away and it's just the dots, that's coming from the MIDI guitar, and it has its own sort of like screen that has a picture of the fretboard, and I use a filter to take out the fretboard. The reason I do that is because then I can just have the green dots floating on a layer on top, and then underneath on the iPad, I can draw things like we're at the chalkboard. So one of the fretboard tricks that my members know that I think is very vital and useful for you to have, and you're going to enjoy it. Let's say we're in D. So we got D on the 5th string, 5th fret. So that's my root right there. If you want to know chords and where they are and not have to go hunting for them every time they come up, if you're in the key of D, some of the very common chords you're going to find are like the 1, 4, 5, right? So in D, the 1, 4, 5 would be like D, G to A. So D, G, and A. And yes, you could play a D here, play a G there, play an A up here, but having a sort of local cluster of notes and chords that go together, and it's the closest movement to get to them, is very efficient, very useful. The question is, are you aware that they live, this is the power of shapes on a guitar. We're always going to have the same relative shapes, and then we can just slide that all over the place. So what I just drew up there is the circled note is the root, in this case D. This note right here is the 5. I'll go to the screen so we can see it. That's the 5 chord, that's the 4 chord, and that's the 6 chord. And that's, that's our root. That's the 1 right there. And that, if you look at it, kind of creates just a useful, memorable like map of like, oh, okay, throw down a root, and then, oh, my 5 chord's right there. So obviously I'm just sort of putting in the root note. So that simple little fretboard shape can make me feel kind of at home if I'm just jamming in like D, and it's like, okay, it's a 1, 4, 5. And then as you're learning what the 1, 4, 5 even means, you can start to have a quick way to grab it. And if you're starting to learn that, like after playing a few songs, D often has like a B minor, you'll see a G, you'll see an A. These are the things that sort of come with a lot of pop songs and a lot of like Western music in general. So you'll start to just sort of get familiar that, okay, if I set up shop here, I've got this bam, 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 1, 4, 5, 6, okay, 1, 6, 5. You'll see these, through repetition, these shapes occur over and over again. And we call this like the T shape, because let's imagine it's like a sideways T. Like imagine a T that's like, hey, I'm a T for Tim. So it's turned on its side, like Tetris, like the Tetris side piece there. So that is like a very useful fretboard trick, and I'll give you, actually that's all I'll give you. I don't want to overwhelm you. Let's just play an example of this. Give me some numbers in the chat, if you would. Whoever gets to it first will play those, and let's use grabbing from the numbers 1, 4, 5, 6. So give me a sequence of like a few numbers. Don't give me your ATM pin, as I say. That's an old joke around here. But you could do like 5, 6, 4, 1, or 1, 5, 6. Like the way that you would hear progression. Give me one of those. Yeah, exactly. Like that's like literally. It's probably even the same key, right? For a million times when I heard that song, I thought like Jesse. Well, isn't that a girl's name? I mean, I don't even understand what is it. Oh, maybe it's like. So I always thought it was this very convoluted love triangle. It's like he likes her and she likes her, but then it turns out it's just the other kind of Jesse. It's like the cool kid Jesse. Anyway, 6, 1, 5, 4. Let's jam on that. Okay. So see, I'll turn off this. Let's grab just a different drum loop, just because this will be cool. We'll start building some nice little beats. Got to clear out this track. So that was like, oh boy, we got all kinds of stuff going on here. Yeah, we'll just grab just the beat itself. So let's imagine that's our. Right. Nice. Clear that out. Oh boy. 1, 2. Starting on the 6. To the 1. To the 5. To the 4. So go ahead and play the chords with that. D. 5. This is the A. To the G. That's kind of nifty, right? Nice. Moving on. Let's go back to our wheel of wonders. Close that off. Spin it again. So that's your first fretboard trick. Chaos. We're riding the wave. 1 shell chord. What's
One
even
shell
a
chord.
shell chord? Marcel the shell chord. Here we go. So a shell chord, as far as I define it, as far as I know, what my truth is for a shell chord is it's the root, the 3, and the 7. And why does that matter? Because let's take an A chord, okay? We have an A right there, and we have, like normally with a bar chord, we get so many like kind of redundant notes, and I'll show you what I mean. So in that classic A meat and potatoes bar chord, we've got a root, we've got an A, we've got a 5th right there, we've got that E, we've got another root, we've got a major 3rd, we've got another 5th and another root. So we have 3 roots, we have 2 5ths, and just 1 major 3rd. And if you know anything about harmony, like the 5th, the root in the 5th will be in a major and a minor triad. It's 1, 1, 3, 5, and then when you go a minor, it's 1 flat 3, 5. So the only note that changed was the 3rd, meaning the whole kind of like texture and color of like, is it a happy chord or a sad chord, lives and dies by that one note right there. So what if we were to just get rid of the extra ones we don't need? And let's strip it all the way back down to just that low root, because that low root really kind of puts a foundation. That is a 10th. And a 10th is just another way of saying a 3rd, because when you voice it, when you put that 3rd an octave higher, we put the 3rd right there, that's the distance right there of a major 3rd, but that's kind of a low sort of, it's a cool sound. But for this, that's what you're gonna hear. So the reason I say all that is that now we've got this like outer sort of like structure of a 1 and a 10th, and that creates sort of a shell that does give us, it implies an A major chord, even with just 2 notes. Far more than just like 2 roots or 3 roots. That's just an A, but suddenly we have A majorness going on. So if we were to add to this a 7th, let's say if we did like the major 7th of A would just be a half step below A in terms of notes. That's a G sharp. So look at that, just with those 3 notes, we've got the sound of a major 7, right? If I were to lower that major 7 down to a flat 7, that's nice. That's that flat 7 that gives us that dominant 7 sound. So that right there, that will be the shell chord that I show you right now, which is just a dominant 7. And the way that I'm holding it, the way I'm fingering it, I find it to be kind of useful that way. So this is different. You know, you're probably gonna see and say, well, that's just the 3 pieces. Yeah, it is just sort of like an excerpt from like the larger chord in a lot of cases. But as we grab a few more, if the wheel lets us, we'll find that there's like really interesting shapes that become just sort of like this very open sounding thing. So right now, this shell chord will do that. In fact, let's jam it over this snazzy little beat. I'll give us an A. Oh man, thought I was gonna have it, but I didn't. Clear that up. All right, so play that funky, cool shell chord. Yeah, Renee, you know. They suddenly open up more air in the sound. It's the shell. It is but a shell of its former chord. So imagine if you were playing a bit of a lick like... It kind of sounds different than if you were to go... Yeah, the full chord has a sort of louder, fuller sound, but when you want to sort of play these smaller chords, almost as a call and response, you can really get a lot of mileage out of like that. It's more sparse kind of quality. Anyway, you get the idea. So that's thing number 2. I got to watch myself on these tangents. I'm very prone to them. All right. Anybody got a fancy new pedal? I know I don't often talk about gear. I'm more about what's between our ears. But anyone got like a piece of gear that they're just thrilled with, that they want to tell the group about? Celery juice. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do drink a lot of celery juice
secret
here.
unlocked.
It'll turn more than just your glass screen, if you know what I mean. And, ooh, we did a fretboard. Let's do another one. Okay, this one we'll do real quick, so I won't belabor it. This is kind of the other classic fretboard shape that comes in handy. And if the last one was the T, this one is the L. So let's spell it on this right now. So guess what? Let's imagine we are in the key of G. Here's a fretboard trick that you gotta know. You gotta have these. This is gonna make you able to be nimble and go light speed. So if this is my 1, that's my 4, that's my 5, that's my 6. So the 4, 5, 6... together just a whole step apart, each of them, it's a useful kind of string to have there, because I find that if I have that, I'm able to pretty quickly, almost within a moment, be able to find like, well, I can find the 2 because it's just going to be a whole step above the 1. And I can find the 3 because it lives right there below the 4. And there I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 7 is diminished. It does not happen as often. It does happen. Diminished chords are great, but it doesn't occur as much in modern day pop music. And by that I mean like you'll see a lot of diminished chords in like gospel and R&B and stuff like that, but it's a little bit less likely that you're gonna find the diminished happening right there on that 7th degree of a G major. More often than not, when you hit that F sharp, which is 1 note below a G, it's gonna be a D over an F sharp. And that's just, I'm just going on a mini tangent here. This would be like a D major. That's our 5 chord. That's the 3rd of the D, which is the F sharp. And that gives you the sound that we're kind of used to, which is like, there's a G, there's that F sharp. You see how that's a D chord, and now you've got the 3rd in the bass. It allows you to have that moving bass line. And so on and so forth. That's like Friend of the Devil. Anyway, another fretboard secret unlocked. Glad to have it. Great job, Wheel of Chaos. It's been rather, helpful and fruitful so far. I'm not as scared of it as I thought. Maybe I'm taunting fate. Here we go. Got my other vessel here with some coffee. Oh, wow.
One John Mayer riff.
One John Mayer riff. Right then, you love it, don't you? Sorry. I guess I put this on the wheel because, I like John Mayer. He's great. And I just did a video on the YouTubes reacting to Breaking Down. Guitar Coach breaks down emotionally before your very eyes. Ain't No Sunshine. And it's the version that he did in 2010 at the Crossroads Music Festival. Guitar Festival with Pino and Steve Jordan. So it's the John Mayer trio, and he plays it in G minor. So that little lick right there, that riff, is his main riff for Ain't No Sunshine. Boom. And he's playing with his fingers. So that what's going on here, I can just talk you through it and you can do your best. If you haven't tried playing with your fingers instead of a pick, it is really nice. It's tricky, but it also opens up a lot of texture and sound. So what he does is, like, he's in G. Picture yourself playing like a G minor, minor pentatonic. Boom, so he's playing that up here. He kind of punches the root, and then he pulls off that note, which is the flat 7, right? So we're imagining there's that G minor. So he's kind of hitting the root, hitting up there, and then ba-ba-bum. That's the first part of the lick. Boom, boom. So he's kind of holding the whole thing. So it's kind of pinky, has to reach the. If you can't quite reach there, you could do like a boom, boom. Just sort of spell it out. So it's nice and loose. And by loose, I mean he's kind of hitting some strings, 2 or 3, but he's holding the chord, so it's all good. And then boom. Sorry, I missed it. When he reaches up there, what's cool about that is that he's poking into the next area above our famous and favorite box 1. What he's grabbing is that right there. So I'm drawing it in a different color just to show you that, like, okay, here's box 1, and then like that would be a note from box 1. So you can kind of see, oh yeah, that's that shape right there. But he's sort of sneaking up just a little area here. So he's playing the 9th there. So let's try this real slow. So even if we just look at that little piece there, and let's build a little stanky groove. Let me see if I can find a different groove here real quick. Like a different beat. Go to my collection of grooves. I use this thing called Loop Cloud for any of my, beat and sample enthusiasts. Loop Cloud is how I organize. Let's do a less. Oh, I've got too many beats going on here. I've got to clear this out, empty that. Yeah. Let's go slower. Let's slow this back down to like 79. Okay, so I just set the tempo in my Ableton, and now it's slowing it down. Let's go even slower. Let's go like 72. Because they do it nice and slow on their version. It's like, cool. Interesting. We'll just do that. That's a cool little sample that I pulled off of a vinyl. Okay. Okay, that's a sort of funky G. So just mess around with that. You don't need to literally play the bop. You can just be like playing with these notes. Right? We got Galen Maynard in the house, bro. We're spinning the wheel, Maynard. We're letting, I said, chaos take the wheel. By the way, this is also a spot that I've found in my recent Guitar Coach Breaks Down. By the way, check out those videos on YouTube. I did one on Money for Nothing. And Knopfler really likes to kind of set up there. So there's a lot of power in where you place your index finger. So you notice right here, I'm in G minor, and I'm setting up my index finger there, rather than always being back here for box 1. Even if you just temporarily go like, and then come back down. little different twist on it. This is just the tapas platter. This is just how we mix it up. We change things up. Let's go back to the wheel. Let's spin it till it's real. And I could add something to the wheel. Let's take a look at this wheel and just sort of get a sense of what we got here, just to get excited. We just did the John Mayer riff. We haven't done a finger picking pattern, blues lick. We're all over that. Triads, trivia blitz. Tony surfs. I'm excited for that. Tim runs an ad. I mean, who's crossing their fingers? Tim run an ad. Tim run an... Okay, root name recall. Love it. Open chord magic. Groove tester. That one's going to be good because we'll do a beat and then the beat will drop out and you have to carry the groove through it. I hope you have your guitar in your hands, by the way. Fretboard, secret unlocked. Shell chord. Galen, is there anything on this wheel that shouldn't be on the wheel? And is there anything that needs to be on this wheel that isn't on this wheel? Wheel. That's what I'm saying. Oh, spin it. Spin it. Drinking that celery juice. Bum ba da 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 da. Yum ba da da da.
One shell chord.
Let's get another shell chord. These are fun. Let's get another Sheldon chord. Okay. Boink. Boink. Actually, this is a good spot to be. Clear the board. All right, how about this one? Let's do this like nice overdrive. Hey. This is a really nice one. It's a major 7 chord. So this is an easy one to hold. It's really comfortable to hold. And it doesn't often come up. Yeah, circle of fifths is on there. It's listed as like a circle of fifths, like party trick, basically. But that's the idea. There's some magic in that. What am I holding here? So I'm holding like an E. E major 7. So guess what? That shape is really tasty. And it's literally what I was just saying. It's a root, it's a third, and it's a major 7. So 1, 3, and 7. And you know, sometimes we learn this one. That's great, but this is so minimal. So let's do a little chord progression, and now your job is going to be to slide this note around. Actually, give me 3 different letter names, and we'll build a progression using just 3 chords that are this shape, and we'll just slide it around. So Dave Brighton, what's up, Dave Brighton? Hey, Dave Brighton, you got to book another lesson. Dave Brighton is one of my members. He's a wonderful person and very talented producer on the rise. And yeah, Dave Brighton, go to the calendar, book it. I can't do it manually. It's a pain in my noggin, and you can do it, and I can't wait to see you again. So we got to get back in there, keep that momentum going, because we know in this world of learning guitar, yeah, there's information. Look, we could literally pull up all the chord charts in the world right now with the flick of a mouse. I'm sorry about that. But it's the implementation, it's the momentum that matters more. We got to build a habit of playing guitar every day, right? Right. Okay, so C, G, and E, F, B, and D. Let's try these. Let's try them both. So I'll just scribble those down, and we'll build a groove. And here's what's cool. Like with these chords, like these major 7 chords, we can kind of slide them wherever and not even have to worry about the key that we're in, just because we're free people in this world. So like F, let's just stay on the 5th string root, right? Although this is one of those nifty shapes where it works also on the 6th string. So you're in luck here. See that? I'm right there on the D. Actually, yeah, okay. So with that in mind, we'll take this shape. It's a shell chord shape that you can move on the 5th or the 6th string root. For this first one, let's do it on the 5th string. Let's do, yeah. Okay. We're going to do F, B, and D. That's going to be our first progression. All on the 5th string. Here we go. 5th string. Down to B. Up to D. And then we'll just kind of stay there. F. B. Trippy. D. This would be fun to just like practice the shape, right? It has nothing to do with like, oh my gosh, what key are you in? How dare you play those atonal sounds? It's just smooth, baby. Maybe don't be doing mushrooms when you play this chord progression though. It might trip you out. Brah. reminds me of like a Jeff Buckley thing. Oh, Jeff Buckley in the house, y'all. All right, let's look at our next progression, C, G, and E. All major 7. Let's put this one on our 6th string. So here's C. Down to G. Gotta do E up on the 12th fret. Because we can't do this shape on the open, right? Check it out, one more time. G. So any of my riff writing, songwriting compatriots out there, I guarantee you heard that and you felt a little bit like, ooh, I could mess around with this and write some ideas, and you can, and you will, you know? In fact, our friend Galen Maynard has been working on those shell voicings, and when you get them going, they immediately sound like cool, trippy, you know, like Radiohead. Whatever it is, you kind of go into a nice space. So that was another shell voicing. Thank you, Wheel. We respect you, Wheel. We are not taunting you, Wheel. Please don't make us run an ad. Oh no. Come on, run an ad. It's a really good ad. I just made it. It's really good. Oh, we might get it. Keep going. Keep going. Oh!
Tony surfs.
Okay, here's the thing. And you're going to think I did this on purpose. I accidentally swapped the video that has Tony surfing for the ad. But wait, I think I can switch it on the fly. But if the ad pops up, I'll make sure that I stop it because the wheel is spoken. And if you have not seen my boy Tony surf, he is good. So hold on, I'm gonna try to arrange it in the background. Talk amongst yourselves. Jam over this again. B minor. Whoo! Where's the Tony surfs? Oh no, did I? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right, get ready for it. As requested by the wheel. Here we go. Oh! He did it! He did it again! My boy did it! Where is he? He's hiding. I don't know, but you know what he's capable of now, and that's all that matters. All right, let's go back to the wheel. Nice job, Tony surfs. And by the way, if we hit that 10 times in a row, we're watching it 10 times in a row. Because what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it?
Root name recall round.
Root name recall round. Yes, then. Yes. Let's get this beat going. Let's recall these roots. In fact, we'll just keep it on the wheel. We can do this just with this. Here we go. Root name recall, classic mode, 5th or 6th string. You'll get the idea. All right. 2nd fret, 6th string. Tell me what it is and play it. F sharp. 6th fret, 6th string. Tell me what it is and play it. B flat. Play me a B flat on the 5th string. 1st fret. I like it. No fretboard. This is good. C sharp on the 5th string. 4th fret. C sharp on the 6th string. 9th fret, D flat on the 6th string. D flat is C sharp, gotcha. 9th fret. 10th fret, 5th string, what note? G. G on the 6th string, what fret? 3rd fret. 1st fret, 6th string. F. F sharp on the 5th string. 9th fret. One more. A flat. Play it on the 5th string. 11th fret. A flat. Play it on the 6th string. 4th fret. Whoo! All right. DJ Tim in the house. What? All right. Spin it to win it. Here we go. I hope you're having a great day. And if this is your first time checking this stuff out, it's rigged. Yeah. Who would
Tim
dare
runs
rig
an
this? Tim runs an ad. Hold on. That's how you know it's real. I can't control this. That's my guy. He did it. He got into the barrel. That's my guy. But hold on. There. Learning guitar by yourself turns out to be kind of lonely, doesn't it? My members and I jam together 15 minutes a day, and the progress everyone's been making recently has me pumped. And I can be your personal guitar coach too. All you gotta do is show up. It's like Peloton class for guitar players, yep. And it's unlike anything you'll see out there. No stale, out-of-date videos, no long, boring explanations. I'm in there with you, keeping things moving. We'll do a 15-minute blitz of daily guitar games, challenges, and songs. Bye-bye dull, aimless practice time by yourself. We put in the reps, we make you sweat, but we make it fun too, and then we just let you get back to your life. We do 5 live stream workouts a week together, and you can watch the replays on your own schedule. And yeah, you heard that right, it's actually live. Chime in with other members in the live comment section, ask questions, or just lay low and do your own thing. That turbo boost of momentum and accountability you'll feel will replace any hang-ups you used to have about practicing. When you show up with a crew of fellow guitar players on a regular basis, the benefits are massive, and I want to set you off on a winning streak. Want to see if it works for you? Try everything for 2 full weeks. To start your 14-day free trial, just head over to guitarfriendtim.com after this video. Thanks. See? That's the guy. What do you think? It's pretty nice. That's what we do. That's what we're here doing. We're doing an extended workout. And my gosh, my members are so amazing. We're showing up. Most of the people that are in the chat are my crew. And I want to thank you so much to my guitar friends for sticking around, for being here, for doing what you do best. Let's do a few more spins of this wheel. And by all means, take us up on this free trial. I want people to use this stuff. So get in there for 2 weeks, do your whole thing, and let's spin it. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Ooh, rhythm riff would be good. Let's do a rhythm riff.
One rhythm riff.
I like it. This one is a classic. This
Learning
one,
guitar by yourself.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Doesn't-
I'm trying not trying to be that guy. It's just sort of the video auto replayed. Oh boy, yikes. All right, check this out. Rhythm riff, and this is like kind of just a meat and potatoes. You gotta have it. Triads based type of thing, right? So a lot of times we learn these triads and we're like, well, how am I going to use them? Where am I going to use them? I guess I can use them here, but here's a good way to use the triad shapes. And not necessarily just use them like exactly for if I need an A, I play an A triad, because you can play these shapes in a lot of places, and I'll show you. So let's say we're in A. If it's like an A7 sort of blues kind of thing, let me see if I can sort of build this like. Okay. So we got this sort of like A vamp going here. We're playing blues stuff. Right there, that's a good riff. And it's as simple as just hammering on that piece of an A7, right? So I want you to see these little clusters of 3 notes here. This one right here is 3 notes. It's not technically a triad the way we know it, but it does give you the A7. So those notes right there are the 5. That's the 5, that's the 3, and then that's that flat 7. Okay? The next shape is going to be right here that looks like the triad for a D chord, because those are those notes. But in the context of this little riff, you'll see. The last one is going to be, let's see, I'll switch to this color. It's going to be right there, and you're also going to play that note. So they kind of overlap right there. And that's, it looks like a triad from a G, because those are those notes. But don't worry about it, just use it as a shape. There is a reason why a G chord, a D chord, and an A would all be working together in this type of sound. This would not be a riff you would play like if it was a pure A major, because this leans it more towards the bluesy sound, because you're getting that flat 7, that G note. So check it out. Try playing that, just sort of like, you can play it at any speed, right? So if you're just learning it, you just be like, okay, what's he got there? And then you can mess with it, like, put the rhythm into it, and it gives it that sort of personality. So try that out for a bit. What do we think? I'm gonna look at the chat here. Slobrat in the house. Slobrat, have you checked out our stream yet before? Are you new here? Glad to have you. We got Jim Blizzard, a world famous, tubular bra. When Tony gets in the tube, it's like everybody's just like quiet on the beach, except for the announcer. I love that in that clip, the announcer's like, if he could get into this barrel, and boy, does he. Scrolling here, scrolling. All right, we'll do a couple more spins. I'll probably play the ad about 5 more times. I'm excited about it. Yeah, oh nice. Glad that you saw the shorts and jumped up. We never know. And you know, YouTube is saying like, you gotta make more shorts to like the people making videos. Make more shorts. Everybody loves the shorts. But it's tough to tell whether or not people go from those to the longer form. So thanks for taking the leap. Honestly, it's sort of, you know, your time is precious, I understand. What scale would I use for this? Yeah, Mixolydian would be great. So Mixolydian would be, watch how the notes light up. You'll see how it kind of overlaps with these. Even just those first couple strings. So you get the major third and you get that flat 7. Those are kind of like the key like notes that define that Mixolydian sound. So you've got major pentatonic, which is nice. It sounds a little bit vanilla. The minor pentatonic, which sounds cool and bluesy. And then the blend of the two sort of Mixolydian has kind of the most jam band noodling for 20 minutes energy to it. Favorites. So there you go. You know, lukewarm takes here. Never too hot takes. Anytime that I rip on my friends that love jam bands too much and then I get to jamming out, I realize, oh my God, I basically just like all the jam band scales. That's what we do around here. We learn. We laugh. You lose. You learn. Who said that? Was that a great poet? You live. You learn. You laugh. You learn. You. Ooh. Oh, Tim runs an ad. Oh. Root name recall. Ooh, open chord magic. This is good.
Open chord magic.
Open chord magic. Right then, love. Let's check out like just the beauty of, there's so many open chords that when you slide them around, they become kind of magical. And so you probably know these. One of the first ones we notice is when we accidentally slide a C chord and we just try messing it around. Like, so that C chord up to D. That's pretty great. You can slide that up to G. So literally, I'm just playing an open C and then letting those first and third strings remain open. So to the F, to G. That'll be enough magic, because I want you to like kind of allow yourself, as you learn these things and these notes and these dots and you're working hard on it, and that's great. Give yourself room to just be like, that's kind of cool. Because when I was a kid many moons ago, like I just would love learning a chord and then just sliding it around and seeing like, where else might it work, or where else do I like it? And so song ideas come from that. The same is true for an E chord. And you just basically play the shape of that open chord, and then you move out of the train station and you don't change a thing. So you don't have to worry about making it a bar chord. You sort of free yourself up from that. So let's do like, let me grab one more kind of drum loopy type of thing. Let's grab a percussion. Let's speed it up a bit. The tempo here, just talking to myself. We'll go to 88. Like it, like it. What's this one? I like that as sort of beat number 1. And then we'll add something else to it. Ooh. Interesting sort of gallop to it. Ooh. Oh, cowbell. You can't go past cowbell. You have to hit cowbell and then you have to use it. That's too much cowbell, actually. I regret it. I immediately regret it. Triangle, you're not welcome here. Okay, fine, fair enough. Please stop. Good grief. Okay, that's our beat. idea. Okay, moving on. One more spin, and then I'll set you free to enjoy your life, your Saturday, your Straturday, what have you, your Les Pauler day, whatever you're doing. Thanks for hanging out. Chicka chicka chicka. More cowbell. Never enough. Ooh, are we going to get the circle of fifths
Circle
trick?
of fifths trick.
Circle of fifths. Wow, I don't know if I have one of those, but I got one of these. Let's see here. Circle of fifths. Oh, yeah, that's right. We got them. Sheboygan. Look at that. Look at that. Circle of fifths. So the one that you got to know. So let's just give you the one that you got to know, right? Let's say we're in the key of C major, okay? That's our C. Did you know how to find the 4, the 5, the 6, the 2, the 3? They all live right here, right around it. It's as if someone planned it. It's as if Newton's third law of chord dynamics. Anyway, there is the 4. There is the 5. So your meat and potatoes, your 1, 4, 5, they live right on either side of it. There's your 4. There's your 5. So just real quick, before we even spell out the other ones, let's imagine we're in a different key. Like, use this mental map. You might even have a really awesome, like our friend Dave Brighton has a bunch of different circle of fifths around the house, and that's great. But the power of it is really getting quick with it. So let's say I'm all the way over here in maybe a less familiar part of town. If I'm in E flat, can y'all tell me what would my 4 chord be? And then what would my 5 chord be? So if I needed a 1, 4, 5 in E flat using this handy dandy circle of fifths trick, what would the sequence be? I needed a 1, 4, 5. Reach on over to your keyboard. This is the written part of the exam, and give me a 1, 4, 5. Spoons over tweezers. Yeah, it's good. Whatever household items you have for your percussion. Yeah, A flat, B flat. Correct. Jim Blizzard coming in. Ooh, challenge. Yeah, that's very good. So that's the 4. That's the 5. Bang, bang. Got it. That's my 1. Okay, let's try it again. Just so you got the repetition, you feel confident with this. Let's go over here to E. So instead of E flat, we got, oh boy, we've got a problem. That's what we got. Schwomp, schwomp, schwomp. So now it's E. Okay, so I know where my 1 and my 4 and my 5 is. So I got my A and my B. That's great. Let's say if I did like a 1, 5, 4, it'd be like E, B, A. So that's what you could be doing, is just sort of, you could be using it to understand a song you're listening to. You could be using it to build a new riff out of thin air and just like kind of be choosing from this. You could be using it to answer the question of like, well, what chords go together and how come and why? You could just be like, well, based on my calculations, I'd be good to go if I played a C sharp minor. Now, C sharp minor, if you're not familiar with how that's related to E, might sound like an exotic choice, but actually it's like, that's exotic. That was the bass on that. That's that C sharp minor, right? It's the relative minor, right? That's that classic trick that many of us have learned, where if I'm in, there's my minor. Now my pinky is on the root. That's that E. That's an E minor. The exact same set of notes is how I get C sharp minor. If I play the scale right there, right? So that's how you find the relative minor. Right there is a lot of useful information. Schwomp. It's always dicey when you're drawing random blobs and shapes on the internet. You're like, whoa, what is that going to look like? Anybody who's seeing something, that's on you. That's your projection. But you've got your 6, you've got your 5, you've got your 4. That's great. If you're ready for more, look at the other 2 ones that are left inside this chunk, this sort of pineapple slice that we've got here. If you trust that shape and you just start to get to know, okay, there's my 4, there's my 5, there's my 6. Then what's this? This is going to be the 2 and this is going to be the 3. And that kind of makes sense if you let yourself notice. And full circle of fifths moment here, if we do this, remember that L shape we were talking about? This is good. This will take us to our finish line, gang, and I really appreciate you being here. This is E, A, so E, then A, then B, then C sharp. That's our 1, our 4, our 5, our 6. But you're like, wait, I still need the 2 and the 3 because I'm a comprehensive individual. Then if we know that E is our root, we kind of know, okay, it goes whole step. So E, F sharp, G sharp. Well, there they are. There's the F sharp and the G sharp. Am I just talking nonsense, gang, or are we getting somewhere with this? I mean, you tell me, what do you think? How do we feel about that? Let's try this progression. Let's do all of them. A 1, 2, you know what to do, yeah. I'm walking right up. I'm even gonna do the 7, because I'm crazy today. Woo! Guitar friends, great work. Thanks for hanging out with me. My name's Tim Fagan. And, you know, I would be a knucklehead if I didn't give you a chance to just see this one more
Learning
time.
guitar by yourself turns out to be kind of lonely.
There we go.
doesn't it? My members and I jam together 15 minutes a day, and the progress everyone's been making recently
You know
has
what I
me
mean?
pumped. And I can be your personal guitar coach too. All you got to do is show up. It's like Peloton class for guitar players. Yep. And it's unlike anything you'll see out there. No stale, out-of-date videos, no long, boring explanations. I'm
Thanks
in
for
there with
sticking
you,
around,
keeping
everybody.
things moving. We'll do a 15-minute blitz of daily guitar games, challenges, and songs. Bye-bye dull, aimless practice time by yourself. We put in the reps, we make you sweat, but we make it fun too, and then we just let you get back to your life. We do 5 live stream workouts a week together, and you can watch the replays on your own schedule. And yeah, you heard that right, it's actually live. Chime in with other members in the live comment section, ask questions, or just lay low and do your own thing. That turbo boost of momentum and accountability you'll feel will replace any hang-ups you used to have about practicing. When you show up with a crew of fellow guitar players on a regular basis, the benefits are massive, and I want to set you off on a winning streak. Want to see if it works for you? Try everything for 2 full weeks. To start your 14-day free trial, just head over to guitarfriendtim.com after this video. Thanks.
Just E major. We're gonna noodle our way out of town. Thanks for being friends. Thanks for being fun. I'll see you on the flip side, right? E major. Do that voodoo that you do, right? Gotta love that cowbell. I mean, you have to because it's so loud. You have got to love it. Back to the top. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, and then B, and then E. Great job, guitar friends.